A year ago today, life changed on the University of Idaho campus. What was once a safe college community spiraled into chaos. It was just a shocking crime for all of us. 4 students brutally murdered in a home just off campus, and Moscow was at the center of a media firestorm. Today is the 1-year mark of what happened on King Road, and we wanted to know how the University of Idaho is working on the continued healing of vandal students and staff. We went to Moscow to find out.
We're back with breaking news about a murder mystery involving those 4 Idaho college students.
We know you have questions, and so do we.
The university's dean of students responding to those ongoing fears.
It's scary what's happened.
Take me back and tell me what you went through in those first days.
Those first days are really a blur. We were responding, we were all devastated, we were all in shock.
Blaine Eccles is the dean of students at the University of Idaho. He still can't believe what happened a year ago. 4 students brutally murdered in a home just off campus. Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan. 4 beautiful lives cut short. The media descended on the small college town. This is the last thing you thought you'd have to deal with here at the U of I.
Yeah, no one ever anticipates going through an experience like this at all.
While police were investigating, Eccles says the U of I went into crisis mode.
We had a job to do, which was responding for the needs of our students. We led with a student-first approach of safety and security and support. That made it very simple in my world. From how our faculty responded and supported students who needed to go home at probably the darkest time in their life, for the support and outreach that I've seen students show in care and support of one another, to the beautiful outpouring of care and support for the families of these individuals that we've lost.
After weeks of uncertainty and fear,
Detectives arrested 28-year-old Brian Christopher Kohlberger.
Brian Kohlberger was arrested.
He was booked into the Latah County Jail.
And there was a huge sigh of relief on campus. A year later, life goes on. And the focus is now on healing.
This was a site that a lot of students really like because it's kind of quiet here and it's peaceful.
A major part of that healing is this open space on campus.
I knew that we didn't have to create some sort of memorial to remember these 4 bright souls that we lost. And so we started and created a vandal healing garden and memorial. It's a quiet, secluded place nestled up against the trees. And we have our students in the College of Art and Architecture that are leading the way with what a design can look like for that. I'm really excited to see what the students are going to do with it.
The Vandal Healing Garden and Memorial is still in the early phases, but donations are coming in.
To date, we've raised over $200,000, $219,000 that will go towards the Vandal Healing Garden and Memorial. So we're always looking for great donations and opportunities for folks to help us create a space where our Vandal family can come together and heal and grieve in support of one another.
Thousands of those dollars raised by students. Remember these Vandal Strong bracelets with the name of the 4 victims? They were sold to support this memorial.
Yeah, the bracelets, again, a student-led initiative, which they did phenomenal. They raised over, I think, $25,000. I'm actually wearing one of the bracelets right here.
But Eccles acknowledges there is one thing that remains near campus, something that makes it hard to heal, and you can see it from almost every direction. The now boarded up King Road house, the scene of the crime.
It is an impact on our students. You know, it's a constant daily reminder for them, and that's a hardship as well.
Some of the families want it left alone until the trial is over. But at the beginning of this month, investigators once again visited the house. Since there's no date set for the Kohlberger trial, they wanted more time to examine the house and to build a model of it.
We're evaluating as the situation goes and seeing what happens on the court side too. At the moment, there aren't any plans underway to do anything with the house. President Green is just being very sensitive to the needs and the concerns of the family, but we also have a responsibility to our community too.
On the year anniversary, there will be a special student-led vigil at the U of I to remember these beloved vandals taken from this community.
Only students are going to be speaking at this vigil. It'll be at 6 o'clock on Monday, the 13th of November, and it's going to be open for anyone to join and participate.
A vigil to keep healing and keep moving forward one day at a time. A year later, Eccles says being a vandal means even more to him now.
The one thing I think it's really done is solidify what it means to be a member of the Vandal family. We are there for one another. We care for one another. We support one another.
Vandal strong. And that vigil is tonight at the University of Idaho.
It's going to be at 7 p.m. Mountain, so that's 6 p.m. up in Moscow. They're on Pacific time. It's going to be on the administration lawn at the Moscow campus. The university is also asking vandals all around the country to turn on their porch lights in solidarity from 7 to 8 p.m. Again, that's Mountain time. It'd be 6 o'clock Pacific.
And coming up tonight at 10, I sit down with the parents of Kaylee Gonzalez at their home in Rathdrum, Idaho, to find out how they are doing a year later.
I don't know if I call it closure, just it will be done.
Steve and Christy Gonzalez are still feeling so much pain a year after their beautiful daughter was murdered, but they also lost Maddie Mogan that night, Kaylee's best friend, who was just like a daughter to them. The girls grew up together in North Idaho, and we went to the Gonzalez home in Rathdrum, Idaho, to reflect back on the last year and all that they've lost.
She had a ton of spirit. She was fun.
She's very close with her siblings.
Yes. So Olivia's the oldest, and then Steven, then Kaylee, then Autumn and Aubrey.
Kaylee Gonzalez was one of 5 children. She was the middle child, and she was loved more than she could ever know.
She was like a little princess and wanted to do all the fancy stuff.
All of our girls are girly girls.
Kaylee met her best friend Maddie when they were in the 6th grade. Steve and Christy Gonzalez remember it so well.
Kaylee came home talking about this Maddie girl, and the rest was history. I mean, it was Kaylee and Maddie, you know? They were just inseparable. Kaylee was either over there or Maddie was at our place, so they had the best of both worlds. They did high school all together, graduated, and
the same school.
Yep.
They loved the University of Idaho. It was their home away from home.
You could see that in photos of them. I mean, you could see the happiness in them, the love, just the bright light. I do think that the famous picture that is out there of all of them with Ethan and Xana, I think it kind of sums up their relationship. Laughing, smiling. I mean, just in the moment, they were taken that day. Kaylee texted them to me about a little after 2 on Saturday, and with Maddie up on her shoulders, and that is the last text message that I have from Kaylee.
On November 13th, 2022, Steve and Christy found out the devastating news that Kaylee and Maddie were gone. The heartbreak ever since has been unbearable.
It's real, and people, I don't think sometimes understand that this isn't TV. And yes, there's TV shows about it, but it's real.
This is your life.
This is our life.
They're not characters.
No.
It's not entertainment. It's a disaster for us.
I mean, I think everybody has seen the food truck video. I mean, it really sums things up. I mean, to me, their relationship, it's heartwarming but heartbreaking at the same time to watch those videos. I mean, I could watch them and smile, and I could watch them and just cry.
I just love the fact that you guys have put together this beautiful Facebook page.
Yes.
And that you share so many wonderful memories and pictures that we've never seen before. The page is flooded with encouraging and uplifting comments.
I wish that I could reply to everybody. I can't, unfortunately. But I read all of it. I wake up in the morning, and that's the first thing I do. And before I go to bed, that's the last thing I do. And I want the people out there to know how important it is to me. And
It made a difference in our lives. Friends of Kaylee that we haven't even met will send us photos of times that they had together. So whenever you get to see new photos of your daughters, and I pass those on to the other victims' parents as well.
I hope it never stops.
Their home in Rathdrum is filled with gifts from the public that honor and remember Kaylee. This is just, it leaves you speechless.
It really does. It's comforting for me because that's kind of how you envision it, you know, and how you hope that it is. It's just so real. That up there is Kaylee and Maddie.
Best friends, Kaylee and Maddie's ashes are side by side. Their parents say they would want it that way.
Right now, Kaylee's over here, Maddie's here.
One bright light this year, a new grandbaby, her middle name in honor of Maddie and Kaylee.
We call her Maddie K. She smiles so much, that baby.
So this baby and all of your grandkids have brought you so much joy.
Yes.
Yeah, good distractions to get out of your head being in a dark spot and think about, you know, what you can do to make every day a little bit better for the people around you.
I think it would be much harder without all the love and support.
When this is all said and done, if you remember these 4 kids, that's the end goal that we're all working towards. And we're gonna forget whatever loser did this, whatever monster put this together, he's gonna become not the story, and the story will be...
He'll be non-existent.
Yeah, he won't even be around to be remembered, and everyone else will be. You don't want it to turn you into a monster because something bad has happened to you.
No.
The Gonzalez family will continue to celebrate Kaylee's birthday.
We do plan on doing Kaylee J Day every year. Do something you love.
With the people you love.
And they're also collecting keychains from all over the world in honor of their daughter.
Hashtag keychains for Kaylee Jade was my idea. You know, people always want to do something. We have a lot of personalized ones, and people send us M's and K's. If a keychain comes from Chicago, Illinois, Kaylee was thought of in Chicago, Illinois. She was in thought, she was in prayer.
A year later, Steve and Christy are still taking this one day at a time.
The people that we have surrounding us, lifting us up in prayer and lifting us up.
Are amazing.
And sharing this grief with us, and you know, sharing our tears and the love for our girls. It's, we would have never thought that this, well, for one, would happen, and that it would become so big and so important to so many, and hurt so many, and we're just blessed to have everybody that we have.
And they are such a special family. The Gonzalezes want to say thank you to all the people here in our community who have thought of them and prayed for them over the past year. It means so much to them, as you just saw. And we'll have the full extended interview with the family. I had so much more there with them that I wasn't able to bring you this morning. That's on our website for you if you'd like to watch the full interview.
It's a really terrible situation that our family has been put into.
Stacy and Jim Chapin are doing their best to move forward in memory of their beautiful son, Ethan. He was one of the 4 University of Idaho students who lost his life a year ago. Ethan was a triplet, and all 3 of the Chapin triplets, Ethan, Hunter, and Maisie, went to the U of I together. This morning, Maggie O'Meara sits down with the Chapins at the U of I to talk about the past year and how they're carrying on Ethan's legacy.
I think it's the very first thing I actually told Maisie and Hunter when we picked him up on the evening of November 13th a year ago. I said, I don't know what just happened here, but this will not sink our family.
A year after their son's death, we met Stacy and Jim Chapin back at the University of Idaho at Ethan's fraternity house, Sigma Chi. I think a lot of people are just wondering how you guys are doing.
I have found a place to tuck Ethan in my heart, and then you just have to get up and put your best foot forward.
I'm a lot better than I was. Just knowing that the 2 kids, Hunter and Maisie, are doing well is a relief for me.
It's literally all that matters as a mom.
Hunter and Maisie Chapin are back at the U of I this year.
The friendships that they have and the support system that they have, it's priceless for us.
Let's talk about Ethan. Tell me what made him shine, because he shined from birth.
He was easy. Yes, he was so easy. He must have known it from the beginning that he just was going to have to take Easy Street because there were two others. Somebody was going to cry until they got the attention, and Ethan just was like, well, it's fine, I'll just wait my turn.
Amazing Hunter just loved to be around him, and everybody loved to be around him. I mean, he just had this magical thing with people.
That's a word we haven't used in describing him. It's true, he had a magical, he touched people, it was amazing.
Months after his death, they started a foundation in his honor.
It's called the Ethan Smile Foundation. People want to genuinely help our family. How do you help a family who's in this situation? And, you know, we had money in a GoFundMe account. And so we put all of it into the foundation, and we will scholarship kids.
Stacy also wrote a children's book with a portion of the proceeds going to the foundation.
The title of the book is The Boy Who Wore Blue, and it was actually his triplet color. It's a wonderful story. It's a reminder to just live your best life.
She went on the Today Show to talk about it with Savannah Guthrie.
It's the only thing that I have left as a mom is to be his voice. Do I wish we were not under these circumstances? Hell yes. I'd live in a cardboard box on a street to have my son home, but that isn't gonna happen.
Ethan also worked at a tulip farm in Washington.
The kids loved working with him.
The farm created a yellow tulip to remember him. It's called Ethan's Smile.
His smile was just amazing.
Oh, so cute.
He always smiled.
He did.
All the time.
And Jim and Stacy say Ethan was in love. Tell us what you want to share about that relationship.
We were blessed to spend the summer with Xana. The most important thing I think that people should know is that Ethan was exactly where he wanted to be. We say in our family he was in the right place at the wrong time. And, you know, you just have to live with that.
Ethan's girlfriend, Xana Kernodle, lived at the King Road house.
They were very sweet together. That's where he stayed most nights. We all knew it. He's a college kid who was in love.
Stacy did something this year that surprised even her. She went to CrimeCon in Orlando, Florida.
There is a huge national following of true crime in this nation. We happen to be at the epicenter of it. I was asked to sit on a panel and talk about the great things that can come from tragedy. I actually got to meet with a group of, 24 victims' families, that are kind of in a similar national spotlight. But I was curious if there was some support, kind of a support group there. I happened to be walking by when they were doing the Idaho session. They were doing a question and answer. There were some things that weren't quite right. And I thought, well, here's my chance.
My name is Stacy Chapin, and I'm Ethan's mom.
You could have heard a pin drop in that room.
I can speak on behalf of my own son, who is an incredible human.
How did it feel to do that?
Actually, it felt quite empowering.
And we miss him all terribly.
I have no problem reminding people that there is a real family and a son or, people behind these stories.
Did you know you had all this strength in you?
Not this kind of strength.
The Chapins say they will not be at the upcoming trial.
There's nothing there that's going to bring Ethan back. So we decide to take the positive energy and use it somewhere else.
It took one of our kids, right? It just can't sink the rest of our family, and that's how we decided to take it. It's a choice.
The Chapins were at the fraternity for the presentation of the first ever Sigma Chi Ethan Chapin Memorial Scholarship.
It's an endowed scholarship. They raised $125,000, and it is a $5,000 scholarship that will be given to this chapter every year forever.
To be able to give the first Ethan Chapin Memorial Scholarship Award.
The recipient tonight is Hunter. He is receiving the first memorial scholarship of Ethan's, and that's pretty special.
How does it feel to know that Ethan will live on forever here?
It's amazing.
On the wall in that beautiful award.
I know. It's amazing.
It is. He'll be watching.
What do you want his legacy to be?
It's going to be scholarshiping kids. I mean, it's honestly, any kid, any dream in Ethan's name. It's the very, very best that we can do for him.
Hunter and Maisie will one day help to carry that legacy on. For now, they're focusing on healing and just being college students.
We have protected them at all costs. Really, for the most part, they are completely insulated here at the university, and that's the best place for them. We were a great family before, and we have to go on and continue to be that.
And you are that.
We are.
Ethan will always be a part of that.
If the world lived life like Ethan, it would be a better place.
He's a good kid, and we miss him dearly.
He was a good kid. He genuinely was one of a kind. You just get to a point where you have to make a decision to carry on.
Stacy also shared this photo with Maggie right here. She now has a tattoo in Ethan's little boy handwriting that says, "I love you, Mom."
This fraternity is very special to me. The camaraderie's all there. The brotherhood's all there.
A year after the killings on King Road, the Sigma Chi fraternity brothers at the University of Idaho, they are sharing their memories about Ethan Chapin with us. The 4 students we talked to are from Eagle, Meridian, and Grangeville, Idaho. And we went to the Sigma Chi house and heard about their love for Ethan and how they're trying to heal together. Here at the Sigma Chi house at the University of Idaho, memories of Ethan Chapin are everywhere.
I have never met someone who's so universally loved. Everyone liked him. He was just the happiest person to be around. Everyone wanted to be around him.
Losing Ethan in such a tragic way has impacted each of these students. The feelings and the emotions are still fresh.
Right after that happened, it was a madhouse up in Moscow. There's news people everywhere, and it was just no one knew what was going on, really, because stuff like that doesn't really happen in a town like this. But I think as a house, we all banded together. It was hard because a lot of people went home. I felt way better when I was up here with my brothers rather than being at home. I needed to be around these guys, talking about what I was feeling, talking about E. Maybe we want to talk about memories with E.
All of us knew that no one was going to look down on them for sharing their emotions or, anything like that.
How we handled that as a fraternity, it wasn't one person handling the situation. We handled it as a brotherhood, and I think that really helped us get through.
They each shared happy memories of Ethan.
He's the coolest guy you'll ever meet. That's about it right there.
He was a really big, funny, happy guy.
When someone would walk in the room, not just me, anybody, he would welcome you into the room.
He was always very kind in everything that he did.
He always would call me Gussie Gus in his little raspy voice.
Emotionally, always there for people.
One of my favorite memories with him was my apartment flooded one night after a big party because there was all sorts of plumbing problems with it. It's an old house. Went over to Xana's and I was hanging out with the 2 of them and we just talked for hours and hours. And Xana made us grilled cheese sandwiches and Ethan and I are just sitting there talking. So that's one of my most cherished memories with him. I think back to that night a lot and I try to focus on nights like that rather than the sad ones when it comes to E.
The brothers lost Ethan's girlfriend, Xana Kernodle, that terrible night, too.
Him and Xana were just the most perfect couple you could imagine.
That's just how she was. She was just able to come over here and hang out with all the dudes, and it was oh, hey, what's up, Xana? He said that Ethan was the most universally loved person on campus. I think Xana was right up there with Ethan. Everyone loved Xana, everyone loved Ethan. Both of them were just flourishing for sure.
Hunter Chapin, Ethan's brother, is also a member of this house.
It was kind of tough because it was a subject that he didn't want to talk about for a while. Just kind of letting him know that we are there if he ever does want to talk. Just kind of knowing that that's open for him if he ever does need a release to let his emotions out to us.
When we were there, the first Sigma Chi Ethan Chapin Memorial Scholarship was awarded to Hunter. The Chapin family was there, his mom, his dad, his sister Maisie. And there was a standing ovation.
I think it obviously means a lot going to Hunter. We're talking all about E right now, but Hunter's right there with him. They're very, very similar people, especially with what Hunter's going through, obviously, and then the way he's come out on the other end, the person he is now. Like personally, I don't think I could be, not okay, the word isn't okay,
That
but
strong.
be, that strong in a situation like that. Like if I were to lose one of my brothers, for Hunter to go through all that and then come out on the other end, you know, as strong and as great of a man as he is now, like that exemplifies everything Ethan did in the past, and I think it's 100% Hunter's deserving of it.
I think it means a lot that Sigma Chi took the bull by the horns and made this scholarship a thing, and the world raised $125,000 for the scholarship, which is absolutely insane. And that's $5,000 to a Sigma Chi every single year, which is incredible. And I don't think there's a better way to honor Ethan than to just help some more people, help more people go to college. Exactly. Yeah. He gave his whole life, so let's keep on giving in the name of Ethan.
The scholarship award plaque and photos of Ethan will live on here at Sigma Chi forever.
We all are wearing these bracelets. I don't know if I can't see if Kyle. Yeah, we literally all are.
I've got any words on mine anymore.
Yeah, mine's all faded. We got these at his memorial last year, and they said "Live life like Ethan" on them. And I haven't taken mine off since. And every morning when I look at my wrist and I see this, I just know I should live life like Ethan that day. So I think that the stories of Ethan are gonna just go from generation to generation, from pledge class to pledge class. And I think that's amazing that his story will be shared with everyone, and everyone can hopefully live life like Ethan.
And you know, I want to thank those fraternity brothers for being brave enough to sit down and talk with us. They said they were ready to speak about Ethan, and they did it so eloquently, didn't they?
They were really incredible to hear from them and all of these families that reached out to you when they thought it was time to spread, you know, more attention to these four incredible people.
Yes, we want the focus to be on these four students. And we talked to the University of Idaho this week about healing for the students and staff. We talked to the Gonzalez family in Rathdrum about Kaylee and Maddie. And of course, we talked to the Chapin family. To watch all of these stories and to see extended interviews and more content on the 1-year mark of what happened in Moscow, go to ktvb.com.